So, Jimmy, what inspired you to join us in the collective?
Well, I think for me, okay, what's my calling, if I may ask, or if I when I ask myself, or when I say, what is it that would I really enjoy doing? I think making a difference to the people I come in contact with. With whatever I do, if I can bring a difference in even one of them, in even 1% difference, I think my job's done. So that's something, the quest to ensure that I'm able to do what I really enjoy doing is something which told me I should be a part of this group.
So, Jimmy, I'm going to ask you if you can share a little bit about your background and your expertise in your field.
Okay, so before I moved into the learning and development space, which is close to about 17 years now, I worked in manufacturing, worked in sales. I think that was the time when I realized that enough of sales, let me teach how to sell. So I began as a sales consultant, as a sales trainer, but that was the time I would say that was a moment of truth when I realized that this is something which I really enjoy doing. Can I explore more of it? So I dwell deeper into what human psychology is, what human behavior is, and I realized that this is where my calling is. I understand one part, which is the oratory, but the second part, the science behind it. So I studied it and I realized that this is where I should be. So that's what I do. So I'm based here currently in Mumbai in India, but I keep traveling around the world. Apart from this, I also have realized that I believe in strengths philosophy. So if you know the Clifton Strengths Finder tool of Gallup, and the day I realized what my strengths are, everything fell in place for me. And I understood that if these are my talents, how do I consciously make them my strengths? And I started working towards it. And today, as I speak, there are 5 books I have written. Public speaking is something which I do for my living, helping people become better at what they do. So I think that in a nutshell is what I do. Unless you have a specific question, I'll be more than glad to answer.
Well, I love that that also by using different forms of delivering the information, like writing books as well as doing seminars and presentations and working one-on-one, it makes what you do more accessible to more people.
In fact, if I may just add a minute here, today morning only, I've recently started doing podcasts as well. And they are just random thoughts with a wish, hope, and prayer that it will help somebody who will listen. So today morning was a result of a conversation I was having with a colleague of mine. What is our gift? And I think that is something which I would also like to tell everybody in collective who is watching this interview. Ask yourself, what's your gift? And I realized that maybe my gift is to help and support people. My gift is positivity. The problem with all of us is, on most of us is, all of us are gifted, but we don't realize that. We don't open that wrapper. And today morning, somebody said, Jimmy, it's too late for me. He's close to about 60 years old. I said, better late than never. Better late than never. Just unwrap that gift and just share that gift with others. So I feel very blessed. I feel very lucky that I'm able to find my calling and pursue it. And you know what the best part, Jenny? I get paid for it.
That's right. Well, and it's a lot easier to get paid for it if you're actually living your gift.
Yeah, it
Because then
is.
you have the congruence that other people can see and feel and hear, and they go, the right person for me is Jimmy.
Because when you enjoy what you do, money is always a byproduct. You don't run after money, but you run after the satisfaction. What you do, you run after that contribution you're making to somebody else. That my dear friend, I mean, that's something which keeps me going. It was so nice to catch up with you in Dubai as well. Though we
Yeah.
don't spend too much time together, but yeah, as a result of that, that's what we are here for.
Making new connections and discovering different ways in which we can be supporting others. How do you envision your work contributing to positive change in your field?
So as I said, you know, my gift, as I said, is positivity. And I have realized a lot of us, we don't realize our narrative of our life becomes our story, and our story becomes our reality. So I think one of the endeavors, if I may use say that word, is that how do I ensure that whatever I say to about myself, whatever I tell others about myself, it's actually part of my story. For example, a lot of people say, well, I'm bad at names. You will remain bad at names because that is the affirmation you're doing. So I do bring in the understanding of neuroscience. Each and every word what you say is a unit of energy. Where you apply that energy is absolutely up to you, which we don't understand, which we don't realize. Making people conscious about the choice of words, making people understand their gift, and helping them unlock their true potential is something which I think is my quest and can help in my profession.
Yeah, it's interesting because twice in the last 24 hours, I've said this to different people. And one of the things that I say is, have you ever been lied to?
Mm,
Have you ever believed the lie you were told?
yeah, yeah,
Have you ever lied to yourself? And
beautiful.
have you ever believed the lie you told to yourself?
Yes, yes.
Because that's what we're talking about, those limiting beliefs that we form, the things we say about ourselves that simply are not true. Yeah. So I say to people, just ask yourself, is this true or is this a lie?
In fact, if you, for our listeners and for our viewers, let me add what you just mentioned. All of us use GPS maps, right? The Google Maps. We don't realize there's a GPS here as well in our brain, and the coordinates is our beliefs.
Yes.
And we don't realize right from our childhood, as you just said. Is it true? Have you ever been lied to? We don't realize, but there are a lot of things which are taught to us, told to us, which apparently is a limit, self-limiting beliefs. Yeah, I think you summed it very beautifully. So let's understand our beliefs will define the journey I will take.
100%.
Do question the beliefs what you have.
And if
Yeah.
beliefs were real, we'd all believe the same thing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm enjoying the conversation. Thanks for this.
Now, Jimmy, what do you hope to achieve by being part of the collective? Is it simply that contribution, or is there something that you also want to get out of this interaction?
I think over a period of time, I've realized that when you chase something, it stays away. Do focus on what you are good at and do that good. You will, instead of chasing, you will actually be able to pull. So I have a quote for myself, which I had coined many years ago. And it's a combination of Sanskrit and English. So I'll first say that in Sanskrit and then I will translate that in English. What I do is my dharma. Dharma is your duty, your responsibility. What others do is their karma. Is their actions. I can control my actions. I cannot control others' actions. I can only influence to a bit. So similarly, once I become, let's say as a part of collective, I will do what I'm supposed to do. I will do which I feel is good for everybody. Outcome is something which will happen on its own. And as I said some time ago, even if one of them get benefited from whatever I'm doing, I think the job's done.
Because that will then creates the ripple effect. Because that person, if they can help one other person, and that person helps one other person,
Absolutely.
and we've made actually a significant impact. All right, Jimmy, now I'm excited about this one. Can you share a recent project or initiative that you've been involved in?
There's so many of them. Any specific thing you want to pick up? So here, that's where my positivity comes into play. I mean, to me, every day is a new day. Every day is an amazing day. So I'll give you a couple of examples here. I do multiple things simultaneously because I think that's what each one of us is capable of. And it's different from multitasking, by the way.
Yes, yes.
For example, my fourth book was based on my own understanding of life. And now, what do I mean by that? The name of the book is DEAL, DEAL. It's an acronym for Designing Exceptionally Amazing Life. And I realized that, and that's where I told some time ago, the narrative and the story and the reality. Couple of people I met, I mean, they had such a sad story about themselves. This self-limiting belief was so high. And this happened about 2.5 years ago. And I started reflecting. I realized, oh, my way of looking, my point of view of life is absolutely different. Can I pen them down? And that's where I started writing. And I think 2021, 2022, somewhere at the end of that phase, we launched the book. And we started doing pro bono programs around it. So even today I do, this is the 7th season we are doing, wherein we do 5 sessions of 1 hour pro bono over Zoom. So anybody from anywhere around the world can join. However, there is no fees, but you have to do, in lieu of your fees, you have to do some charity. Whether you do $5 or $500 is absolutely up to you, but you have to do that. So when we started, this was a small group. And as we speak today, there are more than 200 people as a part of that community. And all of us are bound by just one thing. How can we make our life better from what we are doing right now? For example, beat yesterday. How can I be a better version of who I was yesterday? Tomorrow, I'll be a better version of who I am today. Now, over there, the common problem which came with most of the people was waking up early in the morning. Okay. While especially in the Indian subcontinent, and I'm sure it is in the other part of the world as well, when we are growing up, our grandparents, our parents do tell us, wake up early in the morning, wake up early in the morning, right? But most of us don't do that for whatever reasons. So we started a 21-day program, a 21-day challenge, waking up at 6 o'clock. And for 30 minutes, we'll do meditation or journaling or affirmation, so on and so forth. The moment we crossed the 21 days, everybody said, let's continue, let's do it 50. The moment we crossed 50, the next target came is, okay, let's do 100. We completed 100 days on 18th of March this year. And after that, everybody said, let's stop counting. It becomes a part of us. And I've seen it. It's so interesting. Whatever time you sleep in the night, I mean, the kind of hectic travel schedule I have, there are times when, I reach home at 2 o'clock in the night or 12 o'clock in the night after catching a flight. But I'm wide awake at 5:45 to take that session, right? So that's something which is something which I would like to talk about. The another thing from a little more corporate perspective, the recent project which we did with the PwC, the PricewaterhouseCoopers, is one of our clients. Just to share an example here. So there's a very interesting concept which came across in that session was delegation versus dumping. So as a manager or as a corporate leader, when I delegate a task to someone, am I really delegating or am I really dumping?
Great question.
Right. I think that set me thinking. That also led to a conversation with my immediate subordinate that, okay, fine, how do you feel when I give you work? Knowingly, unknowingly, am I dumping or am I also delegating? At the same time, how are you doing it? So that's something which these are two things I think which I would like to talk about. But I'm really excited about the next project. I think I'll take about a minute to talk about that.
Yeah, take your time.
It's about conscious leadership. Okay. Now, what we are doing here, we are marrying who I am inside to what kind of projection or what kind of image do I project to the outside world, which means how I'm creating that one entity, which sometimes there's a conflict.
Mm.
Individually, I may be a different person, but when I occupy the chair of a CEO or another position in the CXO, bracket, I start behaving a little differently.
Mm.
Okay, so this is where so we want to bridge that gap. How do you want to create that the leader is more conscious about what he is doing? And this is, I would say, this is beyond being mindful, and this is beyond being purposeful.
Mm.
Right. So that's something which, and we intend to do that through a retreat, wherein we're going to call people for 3 days, a residential program, probably somewhere in the nice location. We take a deep dive because I've realized the more inward looking you are, the better you accelerate in the outer world.
I agree.
So that's what I think I'll press a pause here. And
yeah, I mean, realistically, if we're not being conscious in regards to our behaviors, then we're running an unconscious program.
Unknowingly, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when we're off with the fairies, but we're still at work, we're not consciously choosing our behaviors.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's really important because I think one of the greatest ways to influence is through positive role modeling.
Interesting poster behind you talking about NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and NLP coaching. Very interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all the neuroscience of the mind.
Absolutely.
You
No
know?
wonder somewhere we are connected. That's the reason why we are in this together right now.
So what excites you the most, Jimmy, about the potential impact we might be able to make as a group?
I think earlier it was said that 1 + 1 is not 2, 1 + 1 is 11. I would say Today, with the kind of collective energy which will come together for this group, it will not be 1 plus 1, 11. It'll become 1 plus 1, 11. 11 become 22. 22 will become triple one. So that is a quantum jump and quantum leap I can see, because when the purpose is same and we're all bound together with that, the quantum leap is automatically going to be the outcome. It's not about acceleration. It's about quantum leap.
Incredible minds all coming together. The possibilities are endless.
I call myself as possibility practitioner as well. Credit to Dr. Srini Pillai at Harvard for installing that in me. Everything is possible. It's up to us. How do we make it possible? We'll talk about it sometime later.
Yeah, I was reading something today, and they were saying we often get focused on the hustle or the struggle or the challenges without recognizing, how far we've come, noticing what we have in our lives to be grateful for. And if we hadn't have done that hard work, and if we didn't have the challenges and the struggles, that we would be so much more worse off than we currently are. So we should even be grateful for those.
Absolutely. I think being grateful for anything and everything brings more of whatever we wish or whatever we want.
Focusing on what we want.
Absolutely, absolutely. And each one of us is living somebody else's dream life, by the way. Each one of us.
Yes, I love that. That is so true.
It is. So there are thousands outside who wants to live a life of genie. Or there are thousands who would like to live my life. But so let's be appreciative and thankful and have gratitude of what we have. That's where the second step opens. What is that you wish to have in life? More of.
Yes. Yeah.
And
but if we can't appreciate what we've got, we can't even want more of it.
Yes. And I have one more quote to add to your possibility thinking. Future is already here. It is just unevenly distributed. So that installs two things in me. That one, whatever I wish to have, somebody is using it. For example, I wish to drive a Mercedes Benz, for example. There are thousands already driving Mercedes Benz. So it tells me that yes, it's possible, which means, I can work towards it.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. If it already exists, then it is available to us. We just need to focus on what we want and take the required action. So, Jimmy, what message or advice would you like to share with the members of the collective?
I think what I strongly believe that each one of us is not even aware what our potential is, and knowingly, unknowingly, somehow we keep on underestimating ourselves. I think the first thing what you need to do is the first message or first thing which I want everybody to do is tell yourself that you're amazing. Find what your gift is, because that's unique to you. Right. And second is believe in serendipity. Explore. Never know what that exploration can lead you to. Yeah, there is no recipe of living life. It has to be explored. And one of my favorite quotes is optimal lives are designed, they are not discovered.
You're full of them, aren't you? Excellent quotes for every occasion.
I think this change came in me when I first went to Harvard in 2016. I always wanted to study at Harvard, but I got an opportunity. 2016 was the first year when I went to Harvard, and that's where one of my professors told me very bluntly. He said, Jimmy, if you're good, you have to tell others. Nobody will dream that you're good. I think that was such a powerful statement, because from the place where I come from, we don't believe in telling others what we are good at. Let people understand it. But then, so that was the time when I started writing the quotes. I used to write the quotes earlier, but not with my name. Then afterwards, I started with my name as well. Some people liked it, some people did not. But that's where another quote came in, which I told earlier. So what I do is my dharma. So I will do what I have to do, because I know what I'm doing. Right? So I think that's the message which I want to tell others. Design that optimal life each one of you is capable of, and you have no business to underestimate yourself.
Yeah, one of the things that I say to my students is, you are always more than you believe.
Absolutely.
It doesn't actually matter how good you get. You will still always be more than what you think.
And you can be more of who you already are. And you cannot be everything to everyone. Yeah. So focus on what you are. work on it, and become the best version of yourself.
Yeah, one of the things that Rhonda said to me that's really stuck with me was she said that she's a FedEx woman.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm not the supplier or the builder. She said, that was already there when I came. She said, my only job is to deliver what has been given to me by the universe, which is my gift, to the customer. So
Just a channel.
I'm
Yeah.
just a channel. Yeah, that's right. But but like you say, we all have our own really unique gift. And we work with it, and it will develop, it will expand, and it will explode, and then we give it to the world.
Absolutely. And let's do our bit to help people unlock it.
Yeah. And one of the reasons that I wanted to create this collective was the inspiration that I got from being with you and the other participants at the conference. And I thought, like Jim Rohn says, you become the 5 people that you spend the most time with. I want to spend all of my time with you guys, because that energetic exchange was just incredible. And I want to keep that feeling and that level of motivation and that level of inspiration and creativity going.
It is an amazing initiative. I must congratulate you. I must applaud you for this, because a lot of people have ideas, but only very few actually execute these ideas. Yeah. So thank you so much for taking this step to create this beautiful group.
Oh, no, my absolute pleasure. We're all going to benefit from it, not just me, but, initially it was just like, I can't let this go. I need this in my life. I need this in my present and my future, and as part of my legacy. So, I'm so grateful that so many people have responded so positively to it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
Great.
That was excellent. Look, we just absolutely whipped through that, didn't we?
We did. I just loved it. Thank you for this.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure to see you again.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate the time out.
Yeah, no, thank you, Jimmy. Doing these interviews lights me up every single day. So thank you for your time as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste, and catch you soon.